ever wondered what is the difference between coaching and consulting? And maybe you've heard those words used interchangeably and wondered, is there even a difference or are the two the same? And if they are different, why does it matter? Well, my friend, I will tell you that the knowing the difference between the two makes all the difference in helping you to really reach your next level goals. Because when you know the difference between coaching and consulting, you will know which one you need to seek out in what season so that you can reach those next level growth goals. And for years, the two were confusing to me. And I really thought that they were the same until I had spent a lot of money and a lot of time in the market in the wrong places, looking for answers in the wrong places, doing the wrong things, thinking that one category was the same for all. So if you found yourself in that place and maybe you feel like you've plateaued in your growth, or that you've been spinning your wheels, or that you're just not seeing the results that you have been desiring. You know, you're putting in the work, you're putting in the time, you're putting in the money, but yet you're not seeing the results and you feel stuck. Then I believe that this episode, having the clarity between knowing what a coach and a consultant is and when to hire either or, is going to be a game changer. Let's get into it. What's up, leader? Welcome to the Gifted Entrepreneur Show, the dopest podcast on the planet that explores the world of Christian entrepreneurship and reveals secrets to unlocking your unique codes to create generational wealth. I'm your host, LaDondra Hervey, wife, mom, award-winning author, and Christian business coach who's excited to take you on a transformational journey of taking bold steps to unlock your unique gifts and pursue your entrepreneurial dreams with unwavering faith. Buckle up. It's time to make your dreams of creating generational wealth a reality. Hey, what's up, you guys? I am super excited about today's episode as I am getting ready to celebrate 9 years and the next day, actually on Tuesday, of being in the business coaching and consulting world. I literally started my business as a business coach. Well, first I was a career coach, and then I navigated on very, very quickly within months into the business coaching arena because I realized that it just wasn't a value for me to help others find jobs or what others would define as a career, but it just wasn't a value for me because ownership is really a value for me. And although I was really, really good at getting great jobs and just knocking it out of the park in the interviews, I realized again that it just wasn't a value for me. And as I go ahead and just jump in on the meat of things, I want to say that that's how it can, this is just a tip. If you're in that entrepreneurial side of things and maybe you've gotten caught up in what you're good at and haven't really assessed what you're great at, and it's something that that can easily happen. And when you are in that place, you can find yourself in a value misalignment. But then not only that, you can find yourself getting to a place to where you start to feel unfulfilled in your business. And when you start to feel unfulfilled, you find yourself procrastinating, or you may find yourself feeling just that unfulfillment and you just plateau in your business because you're just uninspired. And so my heart for you is that you really would just look at your gifts and your natural gifts and your talents and really say, God, sit with God and ask God, like, what is the territory assigned to me based on the gifts that you have given me and the way that you have uniquely wired me? That is one of the sweet things about my heart behind the Gifted Entrepreneur Show. When we talk about unlocking the codes to creating generational wealth, that very first one is the C, and the C is monetizing your creativity. What are those creative thoughts and ideas and gifts that the Lord is giving you? And how do you create a monetizable business model that will support that? Because many times people feel, you'll find people saying that's just unrealistic to do art and, to live off of that, or that's just unrealistic. And that's well meaning advice and all of that. But I believe that God has uniquely wired us to be just genius. Like, literally, when we really walk into the power and authority of the Word of God, I want y'all to think about this for a moment. He says, who has the mind of Christ? Who knows the mind of Christ? But then it goes on to say, but we do. Y'all, Christ lives in us. Therefore, we have access to his mind. We have access to his brilliant thoughts, to his brilliant creativity. We have access to the creator of all creation, the one who made beauty out of nothing. He created the world from a place of where the word said that there was void. There was void. It was just dark, and it was without any creation living on it. But from his mind, he spoke the world into existence. So from his thoughts, he spoke. And so there's some things that's living on the inside of you. There's some creative thoughts that are living on the inside of you that maybe you haven't spoke. And if you have spoken, maybe you haven't put a monetizable business model in place to support it, because you believe in your heart the story that the world has told you. You subscribe to that, and you said, you know what? The facts are the facts, and I've seen other people who struggle with this, that, or the other. But I will tell you, facts can be facts all day, but I'll tell you that truth trumps facts all day, and the word of God is truth. And if he has given you that desire in your heart, because the word literally says that he gives us the desires of our heart, and if that desire is good and is honorable and it serves people, perhaps that's the thing that you have been called. That's the assigned territory that you have been called to serve people, to innovate, to bring these ideas or new ways of doing or being, or new ways of being productive or efficient to the world. And maybe you have found yourself in a place of second guessing that or question it. And, as we kind of just go ahead and we just peel this onion, and I'm just speaking from the heart on this episode, because there's some things that I just want to say as we're going through this, is that, if you found yourself in that place, I want you to take a moment to give yourself permission to dream again. I want you to become aware of the thought. So one of the things we do in my book called Powerful Beyond Belief, if you want to check it out, it is on Amazon. And it really is a 3-part framework that helps you to release who you think you need to be to become the entrepreneur that you are called to be. And in that 3-part framework, there's the assess. So we assess what's going on, what in our thoughts, the thoughts that we're thinking. We assess the beliefs that we're believing, and we assess, are those things, are those yours, or is it somebody else's that you've allowed them to project on you, or there's other people's expectations, or whatever the case. Then the second part of that framework is to reconcile. So we reconcile that thought or belief with truth, and bring it under the in alignment with truth. And we say, what is the truth? And we just identify truth. And when we think, hey, this is not monetizable, say, okay, God, what is truth? So maybe the fact is that the world has said it's not monetizable. I've become aware of the thoughts that I'm thinking and the story I'm playing that's keeping me stuck. But Lord, what is the truth? The truth is that you've created. You're a powerful creator. And since you are a powerful creator, then the same spirit of innovation is in me. Therefore, I too am a powerful creator. And so, Lord, activate that creativity in me, Father God, and give me the blueprint to bring forth the thing that you have given me the desire to build. And when I think about that, I think about Solomon, and I spoke about Solomon, I believe, in our last podcast. And as I think about this, I'm thinking, when there was no temple ever made like the one that Solomon built. That temple was put in David's heart, his father, but it was built by the hands and the skills. So when I say the hands, it was built under the kingship of Solomon and the skills of his men. And that was nothing, it was never done before, not to that extent. And yet he did it. And so sometimes the thing that's in your belly, maybe it hasn't been done before. Maybe it is something that you are the one that's destined to bring to the earth. And so, as we think about that, I want to now just kind of transition into the heart of this episode: when to hire a coach versus a consultant. Well, when you're in these stages and you're deciding, okay, yeah, so I know that I've been called, I know that I've been assigned and to do this particular thing that's in my heart, to create this particular business that's in my heart. And perhaps you're in the startup phase of it. And the startup phase is where you are under six figures and you're still trying to figure out like how to make money and how to create sustainability, how to develop as a leader, how to be an expert in your skills, and just different your skill set. And you're still honing in on the mindset pieces of things. You're still trying to develop the skills to be a business owner and really step into a model that supports who you are as a business owner and what you're trying to develop, the vision of bring out that blueprint. At that point, then what will be best served for you is a coach. A coach, you want to think about a coach, they draw out your unique skills. They draw out your, those mindsets to help you to really step in to that next level through questioning and really providing us that support of higher level thinking and being, and really, like I say, those skill sets on how to create a brand, how to monetize your packages, and how to work your pricing and your positioning and different things like that. That's when you want to hire a coach. But when you get to a certain point and you're starting to figure things out, and well, let me say this, and a coach, and so the second thing you'll know with a coach, you typically, the model on a coach, they typically it'll be either a one-on-one type of situation where they are again teaching you those type things, or you'll find nowadays market, you'll find more group and mastermind type situations there. But let's go into the next level. When you get to the next level of entrepreneurship and you have found your footing, you're starting to you're not just starting to make money, you're making good money at this point. You're likely at the multi six figure, seven figure business, and you have a flow. And so, but now you've got maybe stuck and you're putting out a lot of money to make money. And that's when you know that that's one of the times where you know it's time to hire a consultant. Or perhaps you have mastered the skill and you're making great money, but then you don't know how to multiply your efforts through your team. And so maybe now you've become the bottleneck of your business because everything you feel has to go through you. Then you are going to want a consultant to come in and help you to create duplication in your company. And that is one of the things that we are big about teaching our high level clients is creating that duplication through their team and really helping them to put their systems and processes in places that's going to support them, and not only in their team, but then you want to, maybe you're the one who's doing all the marketing. And so this is the third reason in the consulting. How do you know, like, coach versus a consultant, and when you know to hire a consultant? Perhaps you've been doing all the marketing and all the marketing is going through you, and you're like, or maybe you're running a lot of Facebook ads, and in those Facebook ads, again, you're putting out a lot of money. You're maybe the one who's making all the phone calls, or you're doing the copywriting and the follow up and all of that. Then and you to really create that next level of leverage, you're going to want to hire a consultant who's going to be able to come alongside of you and be a growth partner, not only to you, so you are able to, you are able to have like that partner to bounce ideas off of, and to really help you to create a strategic plan to overcome your gaps and create that infrastructure that you need to create leverage into your company. But that growth consultant, which is what I do, is what is going to come in and really help to create duplication in your team and really help your team to know exactly what they need to be doing, especially from a marketing standpoint, so that you can duplicate your efforts, and then from a leadership standpoint, so that you're not the only one that's leading the organization. Because strong companies and healthy companies, they don't develop employees, they develop leaders who are leading in their lane and in their departments, and they have all the systems and the processes that they need to do that effectively. And then when we talk about it from a marketing standpoint, a lot of leaders who are get to that 7-figure mark, they feel like, well, I've gotten this far, and so I don't know if I'm going to need somebody to market. And it's kind of made me feel some shame, like, oh, I should know better. But let's think about this. A surgeon can't do surgery on his own self or her own self. They have to have another surgeon to come in and do the surgery, so that that person can really open them up and really see where the problem is and have that precision and to really get the job done. The same is true in your company. So you may be a phenomenal marketer, but when you partner with another one that is a consultant, what that's going to do is it's going to make you exceptional, even more exceptional, take your game to the next level, because now you have someone coming in your organization, cutting it open in a good way to do that open heart surgery to see where the gaps are, where the opportunities are, and really look at the data and track the data to say what's really happening and what are the market opportunities to help this company to accelerate. What's worked well in the past? What's the highest profit producing activities that they need to be focusing on? What do they need to cut away? Because what we found is that a lot of 7-figure entrepreneurs, then what they're doing, they're putting out a lot, and their revenue looks good, but their profit margins are really low. And so if your profit margins are low, then it really puts you back into the bucket of a lot of the other entrepreneurs who are at 6 figures and or so. And some 6-figure companies, if I'm being honest with you, have some really healthy growth and are outperforming 7-figure companies on just, from a financial standpoint, because they actually have higher profit margins, that they are able to even pay themselves from that standpoint. And they're able to put back and save for their companies. So when things come up like COVID, or there are market downturns, which we can expect that all the time. And so you want to be saving for these type things. And the way that you save is literally, when we look at Joseph in the Bible, like in the fat seasons, they put back, and then they were able to put back, and then when there was a famine, they had an overflow, right? And so the same is true. You want to know where to put back at, so that you'll have a storehouse for when the market takes a turn for whatever reason. It doesn't matter if it's a new president, which I hear all the things too, and I don't subscribe to that. And I don't think that you should subscribe to that, because if you are a woman operating a kingdom entrepreneur, woman operating a kingdom enterprise, then what we find is that we don't operate from the systems of this world. We literally operate from the systems that are written in the Bible. And that means that what happens is we don't put our confidence in what's happening in this world and who's the next leader. We put our confidence in God and God alone. And we know that when we put our confidence in him, that in all seasons we produce, not in some seasons, but in all seasons we produce. In all seasons we produce. And that is a beautiful thing. And so the thing about that is that you want to structure your company in that way. So not only are you up leveling as a team, you're up leveling as a leader, and you're not the bottleneck of your company. You're empowering your team members to be leaders so they are able to carry out their role and create that duplication. You are creating infrastructure in your marketing systems, and so that those are able to be like a well-oiled machine that is on repeat, and you're not spending more time trying to make money. Now you're from your efforts and the leverage and the infrastructure you're created, then now you're making money even when you're not working. And that's a powerful place to be. And so if you're not in those places, you're feeling like, hey, like I'm doing a lot and I'm having to put a lot out. Yes, the numbers look good on paper, but there's more opportunity for growth. That's when you know that you need a consultant on your team to be that growth partner, to come in and help you and assess the data, put a strategic plan in place. You don't need nobody telling you about another skill set. At this point, then you need someone who's coming in that knows what they're doing, and that's going to help you to put a solid plan in place to create that next level profit in your company. And so I really wanted to take some time to go through that, because for so many years I was so confused, and it affected my bottom line. And I was doing so many things, and I was hiring coach after coach after coach until I found a consultant. And when I tell you, when I found the consultant, and I started to, then once I found the consultant and I understood and had some insights from my own personal consultant who I have partnered with, then took it even further and did the whole certification around consulting, and then started to dig into clients. I'm like, oh my gosh, like if I would have had this sooner, then I would have been further. And I had put all my eggs in the coaching basket because that's all I knew. And the coaches wasn't able to provide me nothing more besides more training. And I did not need more training. I needed more implementation based on data of where I had been and things, the programs that I had created, so that we could create some leverage and to help to grow my team, so we could create some leverage and to help to really put a solid growth plan in place so that I could reach my next level goals with so much ease and so much grace. And that's why, as I'm stepping into this 9th year, I really wanted to just take a moment to share that with you. And if you need someone that you can partner with, that is a strong, gifted consultant and has an amazing team backing her up, then I would love to schedule a call with you, because that would be our company, the LaDondraHervey.com. Not only do you have me as the CEO and founder who is strong at prophetic strategy, business strategy that goes beyond what you would see in traditional business. It literally, I'm tapped into your kingdom blueprint, and then I know how to really pull that. And just when we partner with Christ in the equation, really pull out some key elements that will help you to recalibrate your business so that you can create a multiplication effect that just, it has an eternal impact that goes over for generation to generation. Then you have amazing accountability from my other team member, Don Shannon, who is just amazing at doing that type of work and walking you through the tacticals and really helping you to really put those plans in place and make sure that you don't slack on your own self, because sometimes we can give ourselves permission off the hook because our excuses sound so good to us and it just makes sense, like, oh, the kids were sick, this happened, oh, this, and or and you distractions will come and you'll find yourself being in a place to where you're putting out fires all the time, and then you're wondering why you're not getting to your next level growth goals. Well, it really helps when you have that accountability in place. And lastly, we have our COO, LaShonda Sanders, who does an amazing job at the operations and teams and the data analytics, and really to helping you to make sure that your team is on point to really moving the needle for your next level goals, so that you're not guessing and you really know, like, your team members are empowered to where it's like, okay, like, I know I have some empower some decision makers in my team. They know their roles. We have systems in place, we have process in place, and you can breathe, literally breathe in your company. You can buy back your time, you can buy back your freedom, you can buy back your energy, you can buy things back. And the thing about it is that what I love is we typically work in 90-day sprints. And in those 90-day sprints, what we do is we pick one focus. And as we pick one focus, then we create revenue goals, and we measure those focus from month to month to make sure that our clients are on track and that they actually see results. And that's the difference. When you are at another level and you are in the consulting realm, then now you've accumulated enough data from sales and marketing and your email list and all of those other assets that you have, that we can literally go in and we can create an infrastructure that helps you to amplify your growth without you having to launch something new, put a whole bunch more time in, and all of that. And so if you're in that place and you're like, it's time, and there's no more games, I don't have time for that, then go ahead and click the description in the bio, and we would love to partner with you. If you're not there at that seven figure mark, or maybe even at that, because see, we can still have this conversation if you're at the brink of getting to the seven figure mark, or if you're already at the seven figure mark, and that you get scheduled a growth strategy call with me. But if you're not quite there yet and you're like, you know what, like, I'm legacy minded, and I know that I have within me everything that I need to get there. I need some skill development, and I need to get some help on with my messaging, my market positioning, so people can stop overlooking me and they can really see me for the expertise that I bring to the table. And I need to nail down my business model and the brand experience that I create in the market, because that brand experience is going to speak before you even say a word. And if it's not on point, then people are just going to turn to the next person in the market of saturation. And you don't want to be that. You literally want to position your business as that lighthouse, and you're ready to be the lighthouse, and you're ready to develop those skill sets, and you're ready to increase your mindset and get on track with a profit producing plan that's going to help you to get to your next level. Then you literally want to partner with us in our next level mastermind program, so that you can start to get that consistent revenue coming in, then get on track to getting into that next that 1 million, on that 1 million mark. Because around here, our heart is to build millionaires, period. Our heart is to build millionaires, and that takes it's in seasons. And so if you're not there, like, it happens literally in seasons. And those seasons, we honor the seasons that we are all in, because we know that all things are working together for our good and for God's glory. And so all you got to do, if you're interested in that, is click the mastermind call, and we would love to have a conversation with you. You guys, I hope that this episode has been a blessing, and all the episodes that we've done so far. Literally, we are a couple months away from doing this podcast for one whole year. And within just days, we were at top 2% podcast, and we've held that position this entire time. And I will say that it's because of listeners like yourself who have invested time and who have shared and who has liked and who has left a 5-star rating and who has left a comment and all of that. And so what I would ask is, if you have not and you have been enjoying the content, please leave a 5-star rating and leave a comment in the Apple, iTunes, or wherever you're listening to this, on how this podcast has helped serve you in this season, and share with someone who you know needs this type of content, so that we can be a blessing, because that is truly our heart. We truly love to evangelize through the model of business, because we know that not everybody goes to church, but then most everybody is engaged in some form of business. And so this is our opportunity to share the heart of God, but then also to elevate Christian entrepreneurs into their gifted lane. And so would you help us to do that? That would be the highest honor that you could do as we celebrate this 9th year of business. If you would, I would truly appreciate it. All right, you guys. Until next time, you continue to be blessed by the best. Did that episode feel juicy or what? If so, please do me a favor and take 30 seconds to write a review. Your review helps us to spread the mission of creating generational wealth around the world. And if you tag me on IG stories, I'll be sure to reshare the love. And don't forget to join our Kingdom Collaborators Network, where we're coming together to intentionally collaborate to grow our business. Until next time, remember, for with Christ, nothing is impossible.